welcome back. Now, last time we looked at this clue, friend with cover for pasty, and it turned out to be pallid because these two words made up those parts of the answer. And I said two things, one of which was broadly true, the other one of which was narrowly false, if that's the opposite expression. I said that the clues, the most common type, worked with a form of substitution, which is accurate-ish. I also said that they were synonyms for the words in the clue, which is true up to a point. So we're going to look at another clue today which shows the breadth of acceptable substitutions. So how sort of tangential you have to make your thinking when you're looking at the words in the clue. Pass on can, good to be cutting down. 7 letters long. Pass on can, good to be cutting down. Now, this is a little bit trickier, this one. First of all, the definition and the wordplay aren't that clearly split. You could be looking for anything from down, cutting down, pass on. Pass on can's a bit of a stretch, I think there's a word for that. But I'm going to make it a little bit easy and just say straight away, that is the break. So to be is your equal sign. And once again, I have to stress that eventually these get a little bit implied, they completely disappear, they're done in a very misleading way, but for now we're looking at clues that have a nice clear this equals this. So all of this is making up a word for cutting down. So in the back of your mind you start to think cutting down, so chopping trees, felling, reducing, stuff like that. So you're already working in the back of your mind on the words that might mean for 7 letters. Then you have a look at the breakdown, justification over here. And you have to think about, okay, synonyms for the word pass on, can, good. So starting to play with a few things in the back of your mind. Now, where I was wrong when I said synonyms was that this word good, and this is quite a common one, so it's a good one to know, good one to watch out for. That is simply represented by a G in the answer. And you're probably going to be thinking about this already because cutting down, obviously, is a gerund. So you know it's quite likely to end ing, this word. But the good is there, just as a G. It's not directly a synonym, but it is a valid substitution because of things like school reports, where you'd have G or VG. There are loads of really common ones like this. This is one of them. Born and died from tombstones, B and a D. So anytime you see a B and a D, or the words born and died, they can substitute for a B or a D in the answer. So that is the sort of level that you're on. You can't think straight synonyms. It has to be anywhere that you would see that word represented by a letter. So river is a great example. You'll have R dot, because on maps sometimes they don't have much space, they'll put R dot Thames, R dot whatever. So an R can be substitute for the word river in a clue, or it could be the name of a river. So you have to consider every possibility. Now the rest of the clue does work on straight synonyms. I suppose you have to think about pass or pass on, but then if you take pass out, you're left with on can as something, but then pass could be on the word for can. So you start to see how many ways there are to come at something. We'll keep this one simple though and say that pass on could be refuse, decline, as in, I don't feel like that, you pass on it, but it could also mean to die. To pass on is to die. Can, to be able to, a pot or a tin, and then suddenly you have dieting. Pass on, die, can, tin, the good just representing the G, and it means cutting down. So that's just a little sample of how tangential you have to be in your thinking, how much you have to sort of reach for things sometimes. Some of these are a stretch. Sometimes there will be one instance in a very specific place, a very specific set of references where that word would equal that, or a particular conjugation, a particular sentence structure where it would be an acceptable substitution. And that makes it perfectly valid for crosswords. So you have to really stretch your mind out and be very open to various possibilities of the words. But very simply, remember that a single letter, not necessarily a synonym, can be an acceptable substitution. And that's all for now. Happy solving.